Hmm. Welcome, everybody. We'll we'll let this warm up a little bit. Let the chat warm up. As always, we're going to talk questions, comments, and concerns about whatever's on y'all's mind. I do want to run through a couple of things. Obviously, national championship, college football playoffs wrapped up. We're going to get into a little bit of portal philosophy. Does coaching matter these days? I don't know. But we're going to get to a little bit of all of it. As always, though, questions, comments, concerns. Let me know how y'all are doing. How are you guys? Zip, my boy, top of the morning. How you doing? Oh, Boomer.Sooner, free Heineke. We can get into that a little bit. Man, I'm upset about it. I'm upset. That's what, according to Caleb, like, they're not giving it to him. I saw where Caleb said that he had accepted a Senior Bowl invite. We're all just holding out hope, and it's like, man, like it's so annoying because that first year was burned off of a lacrosse season that he barely even got to be a part of, because then he ended up coming and walking on at OU. NCAA, bro, they got no heart. What did Boz call them? National communists against athletes or something like that. Like, that they're doing my boy Owen just like that. That's so stupid. Okay. Whew. Yeah, Jance Greenfield. Wait, dude's playing 9 years. He can't get 1 year. It's not fair. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's what you're. Yeah, dude. Well, freaking Carson Beck, national championship. 7th year. This was his 7th year. His 7th year. They were interviewing him, and he was like, "Class, I got my degree from Georgia." Like, what? Like, dude. Jance, I agree with you. You got dudes out here freaking 15 years as a collegiate athlete, and we can't give our boy Owen Heineke, who low-key, like, accidentally burned a year playing lacrosse. Okay. All right, now I'm done. G Wavy, appreciate the roses. Keep them coming, man. We need all the positivity for this show. Let's get right into our reactions off the CFP. Like I said, wrapped up Miami versus Indiana, our national champs. What did y'all think about the game? Like, y'all's just first reaction. I think it was I thought it was a really good matchup. Sometimes, like, the worst thing is when you get two teams, national championship, or even things like the Super Bowl, and the game is very lopsided, very, like, anticlimactic. Oh yeah, of course this team was going to win. This was a very fun CFP to, like, watch. The 12 team expansion was it was just a fun year, and the ending was chef's kiss. Like, Indiana's been dogging teams. Miami kind of has been too, and then they just kind of, boom. It's looking like it's in Indiana's favor. Uh-oh. Miami's mounting a comeback. Can Indiana withstand? And then, boom, mother freaking Fernando Mendoza. Let me tell you, that fourth down run, there wasn't a running back that had a better run this entire season. Running backs don't run that hard these days. Jesus. Yeah, super impressed by Fernando Mendoza. We were talking earlier, me and BG. His Heisman moment happened earlier this year, but if you didn't believe that, this solidified it. He's just a baller, and it seems to be a good guy too. So, outside of Fernando Mendoza, though, like, his cast, his team, the supporting roles that were all around him, just phenomenal. I mean, that is what you want out of your team. They went from being the one of the losingest programs in existence. First play from scrimmage this year was a touchdown against Indiana versus Old Dominion. I think it was their quarterback went up the middle like 50 yards, and it ended with them in the national championship winning. You can't write it up that way, or I don't know. You can't draw that up any better. Let's get into some comments. We'll do questions, comments, concerns. We're kind of talking about the national championship right now. What are y'all's thoughts? Shoot, my boy Beck can finally move on. I feel like he's the that ghost in the house that's just been haunting for years, decades and decades and decades, and like someone finally comes along and like burns the little memento or whatever that is tying him to that house. He can finally move on and be at peace and in the league. Let's see here. Our boy Mateer had a run close to that at Bama. Did he? Oh yeah. It was a great run. Yeah. It was a great run. I do remember. He does. Yeah. He's built. John Mateer he's if you've not seen John Mateer in person, I think TV makes him look a little leaner than what he is. And don't get me wrong, like he's not big or slow or anything like that, but he's built, so he's kind of like a little tank. I understand what we were doing with the QB run. I still don't like QB run. Yeah, but BG, okay, freaking. I hate QB run, and BG behind the screen is like, would you like Fernando Mendoza's run? Like, yeah, freaking. Whatever. All right, he caught me there. Man. Wish your brother would come back. Chris Ratliff. Well, it's official. He's not coming back. Oh, man. Okay. So we were talking, and I think everybody can agree that Indiana deserves this win. The season that they've had, 16-0, is crazy. It's amazing. How now? I think everybody looks to how do you repeat? How do we capitalize? How do we move on? This is only year 2 for Signetti there. So what's year 3 look like? You just started, bro. This team that he currently had, I think it surprised a lot of people because there wasn't really a ton of star power on it. Fernando Mendoza he's tried and true. He's a tested QB, but nobody really knew about him. And same with everybody. Signetti he's a notable name, but even he wasn't really like all, he's still trying to make his own name. I think they skipped over all the star power. Stars don't matter. We're not interested in recruiting out of high school. We're not interested in development. We want to win now. So they went into the portal, and they played a little bit of money ball. We could go for the big names, but those big names come with big dollar figures. And there's a cap. And Bloomington, Indiana is not a metropolis where they're just going to find, tons and tons of extra NIL dollars above the cap. So you have to be strategic as a coach, and I really give Signetti a whole lot of credit for going in there and saying, look, this is how we're going to do it. I want to hit the ground running. Go get me some guys. So I think you compare stats. Who's our number one guy out of the portal? Who's our number one guy? BG, can you give me a name? Cam Coleman. He super expensive, what are his stats like? What are his accolades like? Go find me that guy without the star power. Find me not famous Cam Coleman. And you get Fernando Mendoza. Like, now, do you find a Fernando Mendoza every single time? Probably not. But you're piecing together a team, and you're staying well within I feel like that creates really good culture. Everybody's in there, like, yeah, the QB's making more money, but not crazy, like not a ton more. I don't know. Am I onto something, chat? What do y'all think? Hatch number 3, I appreciate the support. For Nick, I guess. And the support. You're on the chat, so appreciate your support here too. Mars Jams, Boomer, Sooner. It's understated how many of Indiana's guys that Cignetti recruited out of high school to JMU, though. A lot of guys that he developed. That's a good point. Boom.Sooner. I'm gonna read this one too. People in the know allegedly Indiana spent $60 million to create that roster. Biggest alumni base of all schools. I have heard that too. Which leads me into yep, we're thinking the same, BG. So I'll read that again. Robert Wilger. Robert. People in the know, allegedly Indiana spent $60 million to create that roster. Biggest alumni base of all schools. And then boom.soon comes up underneath. It's understood how many of Indiana's guys that Cignetti recruited out of high school to JMU, though. It's understated. And so now I'm going to read you a quote. Damian Harris, former Alabama running back, he now does some broadcasting for CBS, was interviewing Mark Cuban, who obviously was at the game. And the question was, how do you mitigate overspending in the portal? And Mark Cuban said, the minute you start chasing the most expensive people coming out of the portal, you lose your identity, which I think what he's saying, to give more context, like you lose the locker room a little bit. You pay like a Cam Coleman type all this money. Everybody that you just finished a season with is watching you do that. And so it could create some unrest in the locker room. Here's my thing. I think you have to play Moneyball these days. The days of developing players are coming. It's not coming to an end, but the emphasis isn't there anymore. I think you can develop players in the background while you are playing Moneyball for the here and now. Because at the end of the day, it's. I think we're a good example. Like, it took us some years, 3-4 years, and it was rough through those years. Like, and it looked at some points like, man, did we make the right choice? Are we doing the right thing? Money's not coming in like it usually does on like bigger seasons. It's like that's a tough spot to be in. And so I think schools are like, man, we don't want to do that. Let's develop players in the background. So yeah, my kids from JMU that I developed and I think at a lower level it's different. There is still, I think, probably the development piece at a place like JMU at a D2 or at like at a lower division, because there's not a ton of money flowing through those programs usually. And so I do think there's probably a little bit more emphasis on development. Yeah, he comes to Indiana, he brings those guys with them, but we're not going into the portal, and I don't think it probably took a ton of money to bring those guys with them. You want to play JMU, you want to play Indiana. So I don't know. I get it. Yeah. Zip was saying this is grown-ass men. Yeah. It's weird. I think we're still dealing with a lot of like older players in college right now. Mm. If we go through OU's defense this year, R. Mason was recruited. Yeah. T-Wine was recruited and like heavily developed. Both recruited here and developed. Dom was a transfer. Correct. Marvin Jones was a transfer. Owen was he developed here, yeah. Kip developed here. I think that's what I'm saying. Like there is a mix, but I think we lean probably heavier towards development here. Which you can win. I think okay. All right, Chad, are we getting into something interesting? I think you can win either way, but what way is best? Has that been proven yet? I think you can win by developing players like BV has. That's a great point, Brandon. Like R. Mason, Jaden Jackson, David Stone, the Bowen brothers. Those are all developed guys here. Kip Lewis, Danny Stutzman. Those were all developed here under BV. Those guys were. It took some time because you have to teach those guys, because you have to develop. Developing is sometimes a grimy, not that fun, a whole lot of mistakes filled type of a process. And so you say, okay, I'm cool with all that development. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it, with the price of OU going down right now. I'm buying it at its lowest point because I know they're finna come back up. Once they get the defense, once they understand, they start coming into their own, they're finished being developed. Now they're ready for prime time. Dude, that's a great point. A Dom Williams. Oh, Kendall Daniels or Dolby or Daniels. Dude, those two, I go back and forth all the time. Kendall Daniels. Yeah. Okay, so Zip says the problem is the portal. It's hard to develop players and keep them. I don't think getting players out of the portal, like if you're going into the portal, you're not developing. You're expecting them to play. And I think as an athlete, that's the line that you toe. I don't want to be an athlete that showed up at a university and immediately hit the portal because now I've got no book of work. Why would a team take a chance on me? If you're going into the portal, you better have a home, number one. Number two, the air kicked on, I lost my point. It just jacked me. You better have a home, and you better have tape. You better have tape. Because you're just going in there naked. Without it, hey, take me. Have you scored any touchdowns? No, but I will. Like, what? No, not paying that guy. Man, we're getting into some. Oh, man. Snippies, nope. Well, Boomer to you. What's up? But no, Nick's not coming back. He's going to Kentucky. So do we play Kentucky at Kentucky this year? Or? I can look that up real quick. No, you're good. He's not coming back. I was going to say he's not coming back, but maybe. For a game or two. Oh, man. When do we play Kentucky this year? Oh, dang, the schedule is not on our website. I'm not seeing it. I clicked on schedule. Oh, I'm still in 2025. It's annoying that doesn't update by itself. All right, I'm over it. We're going to see Nick at some point this year. We'll play against him. He's going to Kentucky. Yeah, Quincy, but it's spelled upside down. Kentucky here, October 17th. Nick is coming back to OU on October 17th as a Kentucky football player to play against OU. Sorry. Yeah, Quincy upside down. Need a resume for the portal. 100%. That's what we were just talking about. Like, if you go in there with no resume, why would any team pick you up? If you're going into the portal, you're a free agent, pretty much. You're looking for a new home. You're tried. You're tested. I'm trying to play so I go to the league, type of a thing. I think Signetti is probably doing it the right way. I love how BV came in and said, I'm going to develop these guys, and that's just how I'm going to do it. And it was rough, but we made it to the other side. I think hiring Jim Nagy in his front office was like a huge piece of being able to make it through like that tough developmental transitional period. Yeah, which is kind of what Signetti's doing. So what Brandon just said, we do need to make your mic hot back there. No, it's fine. We'll fix it later, or you will. Yeah, we're doing a balance. I think BV came in and said, well, I'm a coach. I coach football. I'm going to develop players. That's going to be our emphasis. But in the meantime, while those guys are developing, we're going to go to the portal and backfill these positions, plug and play where we need. And then when all these play, I think that's a really good method. Because once you do have this senior class that we got now, it's like, damn. And they're young. It's a young, like, senior class. They're not really seniors. Yeah. Young dudes that have been developed, that have another year in the program even still, gives you all the more time to develop the next class of guys that we just got in. It's an impressive class of guys, by the way. But then you got Signetti. I think circumstance was just a little bit different. He came from JMU, brought a bunch of guys, as the chat has said. And then also, so he kind of had his developed guys. It's the same. Dang, so is this foreshadowing for OU's national championship run? I think we just did a lot of talking just to get to, dang. All right, I'm sorry, chat. Let me get back in here. I asked you a couple of weeks ago. Oh, whoa. Zach Davis, I asked you a couple of weeks ago to blink if Jason Witten was coming to OU. I knew you blinked. Well, at that time, I think we were hearing rumors of it, but nothing was maybe certain, and there had been nothing announced about Joe John. And so it's like, I don't want to say anything too soon because we haven't even really said what we were going to do with Joe John. And so, yeah. Ooh, I think that at OU, if you enter the portal, you're not allowed to withdraw. That's not right. Colt Weger. Carry on. Yeah. I think. There's no real rules with the portal, honestly. Like, you can jump in, you can jump out. I think what's troubling, or not troubling, but like what you got to be careful of as a player, if you jump in, there's no guarantee. Like, your spot is not guaranteed back on your team that you just like left. And so, Ivan Carrion, for example. Now, I don't know anything about his situation, so let me preface with that. But there's so many things could happen. He could have hopped into the portal thinking one thing and been like, oh man, it didn't work out, let me hop back. He's not even guaranteed his same contract coming back onto the squad, whatever that was. And so it's a players need to really think about jumping into that portal. So yeah, Stone jumped in, jumps back out. Yeah. Yeah, PJ for a hot second. Yeah, literally like 2 seconds. Yeah, I don't know. Boom dot sooner. Wow, 90 next season. You don't think so? I mean, we did. We all just worked together and figured out, like, dang, BV's building the right type of squad. Who do you think will have the biggest impact next season on offense and defense recruit/portal? Evan Burris, 29. That's a good question. I've been really excited about our tight ends. Rocky Beers and Hansen. Is it Hayden? Hayden Hansen. I think there's another. I think I know two Hayden Hansens, and it's throwing me off. Like, nah, Hayden don't play football, but I'm thinking of the one. Anyways. Oh yeah, and our Tennessee guy. What was his name? Yeah. Um, I think I'm just really high on the Florida Hayden Hansen and Rocky Beers. I don't know. I just think I love when brother, or brother duos. Like I love the Bowen brothers, and I think it's really cool that Reagan, Reagan Beers and Rocky Beers are going to be here together. But no, the tight ends, because I feel like it was an underutilized position group this year. Not for any of our tight ends, faults, or not even really because of Joe John. I think we just made that, coaching move just because it was it made sense for us, Jason Witten and all that. But I just think our tight ends have been underutilized. Under Joe John, they just weren't producing, I guess, the way I probably wanted them to. Not saying that I could have made them produce. But yeah, hopefully these guys can get done. Hayden Hansen's freaking 6'7", 6'8". I mean, red zone threat, touchdown threat. It'd be so nice to have a guy that can just stand under the goal pole or the goalpost and just put his hands up. Nobody can jump that high. Man. All right, let me get back into my notes. Okay. We really kind of talked straight through it, the portal stuff. I think in order for Cignetti to do it again, he would have to keep going into the portal. I bet he has a class underneath him. Like we said, behind the scenes, while this national championship run is being made, there's a group of guys on that team that are like, they're the scout team guys. They're grinding underneath the tent in the weight room or something. Like, they're the guys that didn't play the other night. Like, they're the ones that are being developed that we'll see this next season. And I'm sure they'll go into the portal. I'm sure they'll have a lot easier time in the portal this time around, being national champs and all. But I'll wonder how they do, because I don't see Cignetti coming up off of his morals. I'm still not going to go pay some kid $5 million. I'm still not going to go pay some kid $3 million. Where's the next Fernando Mendoza? Where's that kid? From Cal or whatever. All right. Smello. Shout out from Katy, Texas. Love you too, bro. All right. Let's get into our big question. I guess my last big question. Does coaching matter? Does coaching matter? Would you rather have, and I want to give flowers, Braden Ford, he's made an appearance on here. This question is straight from him. Great question. Would you rather have top 3 coach for your squad or top 3 QB? Let me know your thoughts. Chat. Top 3 coach, top 3 QB. I'm liking all the answers in the chat so far. We'll read through them. I think everybody's pretty coach heavy. I was making the argument though, because that's just me. I'm always going to sit on the fence and play devil's advocate until it's time to get off and be serious. I don't know. Like, there are some QBs that are special. There are some QBs that are so special. Huh? Okay, Braden Ford is in here, and he, if you were tuned in for the last time he was on the show, he's a huge Bears fan. I was just saying there's some QBs are special, and he's Caleb Williams, of course. I think Smello might have just summed it up in just a couple of words. One and done versus the dynasty. A QB at the college level cannot create a dynasty. Do we just end the show there? Okay, no. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I don't know. You got teams. Oh man, was it? It was Ed Ogeron, right? In 2019. Okay, that's who we were talking about before this. It was Ed O just like the greatest coach of all time? I don't think so. It's what LSU needed for that circumstance. Joe Burrow is who really carried that team. I get it. Joe Burrow can't stay at LSU and create a dynasty. Smello. But I mean, I don't know. If you're looking for a jump start, a national championship is a great place to start. Upside down Quincy, Johnny Manziel, Cam Newton. Like, those are all QBs that win, that can turn a program around. Trinidad after Lane left. Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, Zip, Chase, and Jefferson helped too, but without Burrow without Icy Joe to throw to him. Okay, so elite coach or elite roster? Like Smello, man, I'm kind of upset that he came over the top with that. Like, you can't, like, yeah, a elite roster is gonna be really nice to have for a year, but one roster can't build a dynasty. The coach who's coaching that roster is gonna be the one carrying the dynasty. They are on their third coach. Edo, Brian Kelly, Lane. I don't think Lane's the answer there. I think now that Nick's out of there, I can talk about it. Bro, what a dumpster fire that was. Like, not a dumpster fire. I think they had like really high hopes going into this last season. Everything looked good. There's a lot of unfortunate stuff that happened. Brian Kelly wasn't really he's not a player's coach. I think he's won in the past, but he's not really a player's coach, so there was no buy-in there. Nussmeier was really struggling, injuries, and he couldn't really find his identity again, and so there was no real leader of the team. It ended up being the Weeks brothers on the defensive side of the ball. But then, like, the oldest Weeks brother got hurt, and it was like, dang, our leader again. It's just a lot of stuff. But then I think when Lane came on, Lane knew what he wanted as soon as he came in the door, and he's like this force to be reckoned with. And I think LSU kind of was like, hold up, we're LSU. And so Lane had to adjust a little bit. And so I'm curious to see how, like, Lane in the media is like very like, oh, I'm Lane, and I'm very like unique, and I'm a very like different type of coach. I'm weird off the field. I do hot yoga and stuff, but I also call really good offenses. I don't think he's going to be able to – he's going to be that regardless, but I don't think he's going to have all the freedom he had at Ole Miss at LSU. That's what it seems like as Nick was leaving. Colt Weger, sorry. We're not thinking that Owen Heineke's going to get his year back, unfortunately. Like we all hoped that he would. I went off at the beginning of this. He should have his year back, but I don't think he's going to. Yeah, I don't know. Elite roster versus, I think I've talked myself into coaching. But when we first started this, I was like very like, oh, a QB can change the culture in the locker room like that. But if there's a dynasty being created and a standard that's already been set, and we can get a QB that is a leader that can buy into that, It's really an ecosystem. Saban, yeah. Yeah. Saban got guys to come in, buy into the program, and they win national championships. It's no surprise that Signetti's kind of doing it the same way and having success with it. The only difference is that Signetti's having to put up with like transfer portal era and NIL and all that. But maybe he's found his little lane. I'm keeping my morals intact, but I'm also Smello, boy. Oh my gosh, damn Smello. It begs the question: was it Brady or Belichick? I think so too. I think so too. I think it was Brady. But is it different though because it's is it different though because it's the league? It's NFL. Like you can right. Mm. So the player I think I think at the college level a player could build a dynasty if he could stay forever. Brady could stay with the Patriots for like long enough to be the guy that is carrying that that office that what word am I program program's not the word I was looking for, but whatever. Um, yeah. In this ever like you're never gonna get more years out of college. I think like 7. Carson Beck probably proved 7 is the max. Yeah. Wasn't there a kid though? A tight end from Virginia? 9 years. I thought he was from Virginia Tech. Miami. Probably, yeah. 9 has been the most, which is insane. A whole decade at the college level. Aren't you tired of going to class? As a grown man, aren't you tired of being treated like an 18-year-old? I don't know. Getting paid to do it, I guess. Getting paid to be an 18-year-old. Anyways, yeah. I guess at the pros, yeah, the QB is the guy. He's going to be at the program for long enough to do it. But you don't see too many Brady's, too many Mahomes. Kobe and the Lakers. Yeah. Yeah, how many Tom Brady's, how many Kobe's, how many yeah. Even at the pro level? Hmm. Be yeah. What I was gonna say before we got into the whole before Smello came over the top once again, uh, it's an ecosystem. We're living in like that. This is a true ecosystem, like where nothing truly is the cause for the next thing because we're all really kind of just working together. Nothing's gonna be the same forever because the ecosystem is constant change. Like as long as the foundation, the standards, the morals of the ecosystem is intact, like it'll run as it always has. But then as soon as you change one of those foundational pieces, throws off the ecosystem. A little bit different waters at that point. Um, man, yeah, man, we might have to have Smello on here. Oh man, it's always a team sport, which I think is what my personal philosophy is in this new era. At the end of the day, football is a team sport. Smell is totally right. At the end of the day, winning matters. At the end of the day, who's holding up the trophy? You know? The money, like there was dudes getting paid a lot of money that weren't in the playoffs this year. It's great for that individual, but I mean, I think even individuals getting paid that much, like why'd you do it? Why'd you do all this? It's because you want to win. That should be the reason. Man. What was it? Oh, I see. Yeah. Hatch number 3. BG liked your point. I like it too. I'm in favor of those 4- and 3-star kids that have something to prove. So I'll take the coach. Yeah, the Brandon knows my trigger words. It breeds competition. I think like you can't win without comp. Like you can't even call yourself a competitor if you're scared of competition. Like you want to be in those hard environments. You always want to have that chip on your shoulder. You never want to feel like you made it. Signetti went into the portal for those 3, 4-star cats. You know? The ones that were hungry. Like, I want dudes that are hungry. Some dogs that haven't. What did you say, Brandon? It was a bar. Oh, hungry dogs run faster. Brandon Gibson. Hungry dogs run faster. Like, I want my dogs to be hungry. I want them to be like, I want them to wonder where their next meal is coming from, you know? Can we live in a world where we have that player and we can compensate them fairly? Maybe that's the world that Signetti's living in. Because this is still college. This is still not the pros. Your bag is coming. You just gotta be patient. Work for it, you know? I appreciate everybody in the chat. Like I appreciate the nice comments, the nice questions. I'm not the best at like giving myself flowers, like, so I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I seen a couple of them in here. Will Smith, thanks for what you do, bud. I appreciate it. Papa Bean sent the heart. I appreciate you guys. It's really just fun to get in here and talk with y'all, honestly. Yeah, Smello's got that Katy High School knowledge. Okay, so hold up, Smello. Did you go to Katy High? I'm not putting it together off of the username. What does Sooner Cowboys 706 have to say? Hopefully OU has gotten more guys offensively that truly want to play in the NFL. It just seems like OU has gotten guys on offense that really don't want to play. Do you mean by that we've been getting guys that just want the bag and are more concerned about that than the true goal of going to the NFL? If so, what players are you talking about? What players y'all talking about? I don't know that I want to. I still got to come to OU every day and like be around. I've got to answer this. Duke Silver Sooner. Do you think 2017 team would have beat Bama in the Natty in 18? 100%. I was watching that game, pissed off because I'm like, damn, I'd probably had at least 2 in this game. Evan Burris, BVC's the upside and gets him to that level. I think so. I think that's the whole like develop. It's hard to develop players. I think it's still possible these days, but it's hard because you got free agents now in the game that are kind of muddying up the waters. That why do I gotta prove myself? I know how to play. Pay me some money, I come help you win. And I think there's use for those guys, but because of that dynamic that can be useful, it makes it hard to focus also on developing players. And so, yeah. Okay, Smello, before me. Man, Coach Joseph, Coach J. We used to tell a story about Coach J. Coach Joseph, just super storied, traditional, winning head coach of the Katy High School football team in Katy, Texas, the Tigers. We used to all say that he had a weather machine in his office, because it'd be like raining all day, and then right before, like 30 minutes before school's out and it's time to go to practice, it'd clear up and just be sunny and hot. And it's Houston, so it's humid as hell. Or like it'd be cold and like some front just blew through, like just sleet all over the place, and then 2 hours later, it's the most beautiful day you've ever seen, and it just happens to be 15 minutes before practice starts. I kind of feel like he patented that weather machine and since it has been selling it to coaches all over the nation, because I feel like everywhere I go, like the weather, I don't know. Let me stop. I'm getting down a rabbit hole. Why did Lincoln go away from the run in the second half versus Georgia? Your guess is as good as mine. Thoughts on Xavier Robinson? I'll give you those. And I'm sorry for anybody that's new in the chat. Questions, comments, concerns. We've kind of been on this theme of like national championship, Indiana, Signetti, portal. What do you do to be successful? What is the right way? But as always, I answer any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have. I'm not a licensed therapist, so keep that in mind. But I'm Die Foes. Xavier Robinson, what are my thoughts? He's a really good running back. I'm curious, like, speaking of competition, they both played an equal amount last year. I think ended up playing about an equal amount. I didn't look at their carries exactly, so maybe that's a little bit skewed. Torrey did start and play a lot early in the season. But I think that is like perfect example of competition. I think Xavier Robinson is a great back. He seems to be a little bit bigger. He's got like more of like one cut, put my foot in the ground and get north and south. Doesn't mind taking some contact. He's a little bit more of like an aggressive runner, in my opinion. Bruiser. Torrey also has that in his game. He's a very well-rounded running back, but I've seen clips of him in high school where he's a lot shiftier and like he's like a lot more like diverse, like athleticism is more on display this year. It's probably just because he's getting his feet wet, but he'll just stick it up in there, find a hole, and just kind of bury himself. He was always falling forward. Also, he's running. I guess my point is this past year he ran a little bit kind of like he's a bruising back, like just hard fought. But I'm not sold that that's Torrey Blaylock. I think he's a lot more of a diverse athletic back than what he had to play this year. And so Xavier Robinson and Torrey Blaylock, I think, would be a phenomenal, like it would be the best for both of them if DeMarco sat them down, just them two in the room, said, look, I don't know who my starter is. Y'all prove to me who I should start. Y'all are both going to play. Prove to me who should start. Who should be my number one? Let them compete like dog. You get a Xavier Robinson that you've never seen before. You get a Torrey Blaylock that you've never seen before. And then when the first one goes in and he gets tired of the 2 series, the next one comes in, it's like, oh, shoot. Now we got to deal with a hungry Xavier Robinson, a hungry Torrey Blaylock. Oh, man. And then I see you, Nick, in the comments, thoughts of the RB transfer. Avant. Yeah, who? Lloyd Avant, yeah. I think he only adds to the competition. Like think about this, guys. Think about it. You've got Torrey and Xavier Robinson in the same room. They know that they're competing. They know what it is. DeMarco doesn't have to sit them down and have that conversation. I think he should because it can only make the competition better, like put it on notice type of a thing. But aside from that, they know who their comp is, and they know how good their competition is. When you add an unknown like Lloyd Avant into it, oh man, who's he? Let me go watch his tape. What's he talking about? That just only adds to the chaos of that competition. Like I think it only makes it better. I haven't really got I don't really know too much specifically about Lloyd Avant yet. I haven't. I'm not gonna act like I watched all his tape. I didn't. What's up? Oh yeah. Uh. Oh yeah. That's a great point. BG. Well, BG pointed out PB in the chat. Uh, yeah, like that's what makes Cortland so fun. He doesn't back away from the competition, and that's why we never saw him plateau this season. He continuously got better and better. BG was saying that like Cam Coleman, like he was asking, like I want to shadow him, I want to follow him. Like when we play him, I want to be on the best guy. When we play that team, I want to be on the best one. That's Cortland. That's why he's always going to be. That's why he's always going to continue to progress. That's why he's always going to find a way to be on the field. Anyways. Interesting. Sooner Cowboy. He named some names. Taylor Tatum, Zion Kearney, Jake Taylor, Logan Howland, and Jaden Gibson. Some of those were just injury-prone guys, but still didn't seem hungry enough to play, just in my opinion. I will say, and like no slight to you, Sooner Cowboy, just being a little bit closer to the program, like I know some of these guys. I know most of them. Spent time with most of them. They wanted to play. Like the want to was there. There's circumstance going on around that. I'm not going to dive into like all the circumstance because it's not all football circumstance. Straight up, like there's a lot going on with these kids. I think we have to like nobody walks into a casino and wins every bet. You know, nobody's bats 100%. What is it called? Batting 1,000. What's the right terminology? I don't know. Yeah. You know, there's no such thing as like a sure thing. It will always be like, you know, hindsight's 2020. So, but let's take it with a grain of salt. Like every person that we bring in isn't always going to work out, even if the upside is tremendous. I think Jaden Gibson is a great example. Like a talent. He's talented. Like he didn't even really get started here. Look at the games that he did play in. Look at the few times that he was in a Sooners uniform. Look at those clips and tell me he didn't want to be out there. Like that's a kid that wants to play, that wants to compete. Now I know that there was a lot of like off the field stuff swirling around him. Again, I know him. I know him especially because like Nick like really knows him. Now, I worked with Jaden a little bit. Nick really knew him. Our families, our moms, they talked quite a bit. Dude, Jaden is just a product of his circumstance. That's a dude that just cares about football. He wants to play. It just didn't work out here. Injuries started to happen. It's tough to come back from injury, especially when you want to play that bad. It's tough. Trust me. But yeah, I don't know. There are definitely some guys that they're full of it. I think there's bad apples in every bunch too. Like there are some guys that just see dollar signs and then all of a sudden football doesn't matter anymore and they just want to flex and be flashy, and those guys weed themselves out quickly. Most of the guys here though, like again, we're not perfect. We'll get those knuckleheads every now and then, but I would like to believe that most guys here just truly do want to play. It might not always work out though. Do you think we'll struggle in the secondary with losses to the portal? Willie, I don't. Because we still have Cortland coming back. We got the Bowen brothers. Who am I forgetting? Jacoby. Oh, he got another year, I think. One more year. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about our secondary. I guess what makes you ask that question, Willie? Reggie Powers, yeah. Oh, Boganowski. I'm excited for him. Uh, but Boganowski reminds me of this kid. Smello, if you're still on, you'll recognize his name. Uh, from high school, his name is Colin Wilder. He played for Wisconsin, and he played for U of H. I played against a lot of safeties in my time. No safety threw his body around harder or with less regard for his own safety than Colin Wilder. I mean, he just loved to hit people. He was like on the very tip of the NIL era. Was his last couple years in college. His brand was like the grit factory, and like just he's that guy. Michael Boganowski reminds me of him, which I know, y'all might not like know the lore of Colin Wilder like I do, but that's a big compliment. Michael Boganowski does not care for his safety. He will throw his weight around with no care. I just love it. I love the aggressiveness. Sooner Cat. All right, Sooner Cat. We're on the same page. I never. I told y'all in the last live that I would find the clip of Jade Knott in practice. I never did. But Sooner Cowboy was able to find it, so I'm sure y'all can too. Just go to Twitter, type in Jade Knott practice film. Like the dude can he can play. Circumstance. It doesn't always work out, and I think it might sting a little bit more these days because now when it doesn't work out, we also are we're out on money. Like my investment didn't work out, but it doesn't always. So. Yeah, I got it. Let me clear my throat. Will Smith, 8565. With our O-line seemingly solidifying and having blocking tight ends in the room, hello, who can also catch passes. Wow. Do you think that'll open up our run game? If so, what should be our bread and butter plays? We were just talking about this. All right. We were just talking about Indiana and Miami before. I mean, we filmed the double take earlier, so we had Caleb in here, and we were talking offensive plays and schemes that we were seeing in the game. And the one run play that stood out above all else was the outside zone. Just killing with the outside zone. I'll nerd out in here in a second on why the outside zone is so great. But to address Will's question real quick, I do think our O-line is solidifying. We went into the portal this season for depth. BG, would you mind plugging in my laptop? I didn't do it before we started, and I'm going to lose the chat if I don't. Or Braden walked in at the right time. Will you plug this in right over there for me, please? I promise I'll get to your question, Will Smith. There's a little port down there. It didn't die. I have it. Yeah. I just got the warning, battery's getting low, plug it in or we're going to have a problem, is what my computer said to me. Thank you. Braden Ford, everybody. Braden Ford's hand. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Man, I'm really lost without, I truly just come in here and speak words. Not a one-man show at all. Okay, I do think our offensive line is solidifying. I think we went into the portal this season for depth, and if I know a Beanbo, there's going to be competition there too. But we got depth there too, so O-line does seem to be like it's like we're going to start, and we had with some young guys, some true freshmen on the line last season, so the experience is only going to do wonders. I am excited for the size of Rocky Beers and Hayden Hansen and other tight ends that we brought in. They're only going to help with the run game for sure. So yes, the thought is it does make sense that, it would help the run game. Think about a guy like Hayden Hansen, 6'8", setting the edge. 6'8", 270, athletic. We're setting the edge. What I mean by setting the edge, for those that don't know, he's given a shot to the edge player, probably the defensive end, whoever the edge player is. Tackle's going to work up to take over that edge guy so that the tight end can work up to the second level, the linebackers or safety first, probably, first threat. That creates an edge, creates like a path. It seals off the defense so that there's a running lane on the outside. Receiver's taking care of his guy or he's running him off. The reason that outside zone and inside zone are so great is because it's like investing in real estate. You buy a house to rehab it, you flip it with the intention to sell, but if that doesn't work out, you can fall back and put renters in it. In this case, if you don't get that edge, that means that the defense was able to set their own edge, and so they're stringing everything out. They're containing, right? So they can turn it back up. Well, never fear, because in a zone scheme, you never really have one guy. You're just working up to the person in your zone, like in your area, in your path, or however it's coached. So that creates backside running lanes where you can cut your losses, stick your foot in the ground, and get up the field. I do think that having tight ends and a more solidified offense will help create running lanes like that. And when you have so many options just off of one run play, because that was just the outside zone. We haven't even talked about inside zone. We haven't talked about gap plays, trap plays, which is similar to gap. Anyways, yeah, Will Smith, I think it should open it up. And I think our bread and butter plays should probably be inside, outside zone. Me and Gabe Eichert talked a couple years ago after a tough loss. We didn't really talk. He was kind of ranting. He was upset. It was right after a loss. Maybe it was a loss to Tennessee. It was one of those bad losses. And he was kind of ranting to me. He was like, man, we need to run inside, outside zone. Like, that's the foundation of offense. It's what's built off of. It's how you run. And I agree with them. Like, those types of foundational plays is how you can build into, like, more complex offenses so that Ben can really get in his bag. Ben Arbuckle, that is. Sorry, I kind of... It's fun talking about run plays. We should... I need to, like, bring a little whiteboard. I'm bringing a little whiteboard sometime. We'll pick some run plays. We'll just dive into some concepts. Be fun. Okay. Let's look. Questions, comments, concerns. Let's what do we got? I think we've covered quite a bit, honestly. Y'all have been phenomenal. This has been fun. I like talking with you guys. Twelves. What do I think about Nick going to Kentucky? You thought he was going to come back here? I don't. There was never really a path for Nick back to Oklahoma. There's no bad blood here, at all. I mean, he's still got some of his best friends are still on the team. But there was just no path. There's no interest either way. And so that's how he ended up in Kentucky. I think Kentucky's going to be a good spot for him. I think really it's just his goal in his mind is the league. And so he's just keeping that in mind. He's trying to find his best path forward to that. I try not to weigh my own personal opinions in on his decisions. It's kind of been my philosophy with both of my brothers. Like, I'm not the one that's got to put blue on and catch touchdown passes. He is. But I'm always here as a resource, and so, I mean, that's my little bro. I hope he does great. I hope the only way that OU beats Kentucky is if they figure out a way to stop Nick Anderson. So, it's my blood. Oh. Dwayne Johnson. Are you rage baiting me? He's for sure rage baiting me. Rodney, do you think there will be true quarterback competition? I'm a true born and bred Oklahoma Sooner. I'm not optimistic about the quarterbacks that we have, but we let Michael Hawkins Jr. go. Very pathetic. You're for sure rage baiting me, Dwayne Johnson. Is this The Rock? It's for sure The Rock. All right. I don't think you can pay a guy like John Mateer. I'm stealing your thought, Brandon. This is Brandon's thought. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't want to throw that all. Like, I do believe this. Yeah. I think it's hard to not play John Mateer going into this next season because we're paying him a ton, and he already has a lot of experience in this conference and with this team, with this OC. To the point that Brandon said that I like, what are we going to start a true freshman out of high school in the SEC as opposed to a John Mateer that just played in a playoff game? I don't that just doesn't make sense. Like, you just can't do that. Where does the competition in the quarterback room, where is that at then? I think it's underneath John Mateer. You've got some young cats that are fighting because they know that John Mateer's out of here after this year. Don't got no more eligibility. Couldn't come back if you wanted to. Doesn't matter how much money we pay him. So once John is out of the building after this next season, then it will be who has been competing, who has been, rising to the top. It's going to take an unfortunate circumstance or just the craziest turn of events for us to put a brand new QB out there for the first time with no experience. But I share your sentiment though that I am upset that we let Michael Hawkins Jr. go. I think if there was any true competition that should have happened, it was John Mateer's entrance into OU. He should have met Michael Hawkins at the door, and they should have shook hands and said, y'all ready to compete? Bet, let's go. So, I don't know. Holy shiza. Bryson, how'd you find that out? Sorry if this is a personal question, but was Nick the one who left because he had to pay for an MRI? That was a part of it, but at that time, OU football had not really invested any time or attention into the training staff. And so, that's why we had a ton of guys hurt and a ton of guys not able to make it back a season ago. And so that did weigh into Nick's decision to get on out of here, but it's not really it was nothing. Like, Nick liked the coaches, loved players, loved here in Oakland. He comes to hang out all the time. He's got a nephew out here now, so he comes out here quite a bit to hang out. He likes it. It just wasn't there's another example of circumstance outside of football that Nick was the one that had to come up in here and be treated by the staff that was treating them every day, and he wasn't confident in that anymore, so he did. Dwayne Johnson. He said he's not The Rock. But I don't know. He's taunting me and he's rage baiting me as if not rage. Oh, okay. So maybe he is The Rock. No, I'm just giving you a hard time. He was given the keys to the kingdom and laid them out. Guys, yeah. I think I'm ready to it's hard. What John Mateer was tasked to do was not easy. Hawkins. You talking about last year when Hawkins came in for Jackson? That was given the keys? Huh. I read it as we give John Mateer the keys to the kingdom. That doesn't make sense because I wouldn't say first round playoff loss is laying an egg. Or is it because we're OU and we can never make it past the first round of playoffs? Ah, damn. All right. Now I feel like Bryson is rage baiting me. Man, I was about to come to an end, but I want to see how this Michael Hawkins Jr. conversation plays out. Is the Red River rivalry, I think, is what we're talking about right now. Whenever John Mateer just made it back, like what was it, like 15 days, something stupid, like 15 to 20 days after thumb surgery, he's starting in the Red River rivalry. Yeah, hindsight's 2020. Should we have started Michael Hawkins Jr.? Maybe, but that's not what we wanted to do. So, oh, interesting. Hawkins played several last year. If he played well, we would have never went and got Mateer. There's a lot. That's loaded. If BV gets a nasty L against Texas, he has to go. All right, guys, come on. Well, huh? He would be 1-4 against Texas with playoff win, like not wins, but playoff appearances. I don't know. Yeah, this is going left. Guys, this is going left. Hold up. The 6 and 7 season, and we're pulling up past year. We're living in the past too much right now. We talked about this already. It took those developmental seasons to get here, and we're not done yet. Coach has got to develop too. BV has never been a head coach until he came here. And so I think let's cut some slack is all I'm saying. Like, it took a lot of, rough times to finally get a diamond season, It was a diamond in the rough, play on words if you didn't catch it. So I think this next season, we're going to have a really good team. I think Texas is probably going to be a pretty good team too. And so every game, SEC is so fun. This is so much better than the Big 12. Every game's going to be fun. Every game's going to have its own storyline. Although when we get to that Red River rivalry, it's going to have a little bit extra sauce behind it because BV is 1-4. And even though he's gotten to a point of success where it seems like the trajectory is now nothing but up, that stain on his resume is going to be Texas. Is going to be the Cotton Bowl once a year. So, Evan Burris. All right. We'll end with this. Evan Burris 29 says, I'd say this. If OU made the playoffs every year, but it meant we lost to Texas every year, I'd accept. Man. Okay. That's a really good question. I don't think I would accept it. I don't think I'd do it. Oh, no. Oh, man. No. Well, here's my thought process, because I'm thinking in my head, what is the goal? National championship, right? I have to have a schedule. I have to have a record to get me into the playoffs. Doesn't mean I have to beat Texas. Just means I have to beat enough teams. Doesn't have to include Texas. I think I'd take playoffs, because it means, like, okay, we're still going to beat Texas some years. We might take some L's here and there, but throughout that, we're also making the playoffs. Yeah, that's a good point. My boy Trey came in. He started dropping some facts. He said the Michigan-Ohio State example. You got Ohio State losing to Michigan 3 years in a row, but then they pop out and win a national championship. It's a great point. I bet everybody in Ohio is like, yeah, but we lost to Michigan 3 times in a row. Yeah, we got a national championship. We can't beat freaking Michigan. Yeah, those guys up north. They don't even say Michigan in that state. Those people up north. Yeah, it's yeah, like, how annoying would that be to win a national championship? But we lost to Texas that year. Oh, man, why does it hurt so bad to lose to them? Oh, why does it suck? I don't know, Evan. That's a great question. I could argue that back and forth all day. I think because I'm a petty person at my core, I can't let Texas win every year. Or I can't let Texas win a lot. So, damn, I might give up playoff runs for beating Texas. No. Okay, no. I thought of something different. Like, if I'm not making the playoffs, but I'm beating Texas every year, that means that I have a terrible record, right? It means the record's not good, because I'm not making the playoffs, more than likely. And I don't know if I can live with bad records. That'd suck. Like, be like, oh yeah, I played for OU, but we were 6-7. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, but we beat Texas though. Nah, okay. That's lame. It's little brother energy. That's lame. Like, we went 6-7. Hey, but we beat Texas though. Yeah, okay. I think I'm taking the playoff wins. Yeah, because Texas, okay, because then look at it from Texas' perspective. It's like, we beat them though. Yeah, but where's your championship trophies? Okay. All right, yeah, we talked it out. Evan, my answer to your question is I'd take the playoff runs. Playoff wins and national championships over beating Texas every year. Yeah, damn, that got personal. But we figured it out. Guys, as always, I appreciate y'all hopping on here. It's been fun. We do this every Tuesday at noon. Tell your friends. We just hop on here and let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. We'll have a whole new list of topics next week. But until then, stay safe, stay warm. Boomer Sooner.